All right, just like that, we are live, everyone. And as you know, we do the show live every single day with Anthony, who is behind the camera right now. We've got a great show here for you. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday afternoon. We do this. It's a great part of our Tuesday to be able to bring this to you. So looking forward to this show. We've got a lot of great stuff. Here's the overarching theme of today's show, everybody. Americans are getting poorer, all right? And we see this across the board, and there are different approaches that people are taking to the fact that Americans just right now don't have a lot of money. We've covered yesterday, Anthony, the pricing, how pricing has switched within the real estate market in Central Florida, how we had over 1,300 homes in Central Florida that have had price reductions, but are still sitting right there on the market. You can't sell the things right now. And a lot of times right now, people, what this is a sign of is the economy. It's the economy. It's the same thing in every election. And right now, people are feeling more unsure about jobs than they ever have before. And it is absolutely right now showing itself with the way that people are acting within the job market. It's the way that they're acting with how they purchase. It's the way they're acting with how they make big purchases. And we're going to discuss that. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to start today with an unlikely culprit, if you will, that I want to talk about here, Anthony. I want to talk about Walt Disney World. All right. If you have not heard, all right, big news came down yesterday. Joe Schott is the new president of Walt Disney World. Now, this guy is a come-from-nothing story. He's like the Rocky Balboa coming through, if you want to know the truth, at Walt Disney World. He actually started his journey on the Jungle Book or the Jungle Cruise boat tour, or whatever it is. Let's see here. What is it called? He started 4 decades ago driving the Jungle Cruise boat at Magic Kingdom. And so the guy who was there is being replaced after 36 years. And I'm going to tell you, Joe has got his work cut out for him. Now, I talked about how Americans don't have a lot of money. And right now, the big thing that's facing Walt Disney World is simple. People can't afford to go. That's the problem. Anthony, how much does it cost right now to go to Disney World?
Oh, it was, let me see. I just had it pulled up a minute ago.
Okay. So to give you an idea, a little bit of a background of Joe, this guy is not new, all right? He's been overseas. He's done a very good job over there in Tokyo Disney. He's also done a very good job in Shanghai, helping that resort over there cross 100 million guests. This guy is known as being the guy to actually fix problems within parks. He's a 40-year veteran of Disney. And so what we've got to hope for is that this guy can step in and make these parks magical again. I think everybody can agree the aura of Disney has left itself in some way. It used to be that you went there because it was so pristine, so clean, such a great experience when you went to the parks that in some ways, well, it felt magical to walk down like Magic Kingdom, like down Main Street right there. It's lost its magic, and he has got the job of putting people back into the parks, bringing back the magic to the average American family, and he's got his work cut out for him. What are the prices that we have right now?
So right now it's between $119 for like just the low season rate to up to $209 for one day.
$209 if you want to go for one day, one person?
Yeah, for like the peak
season.
Peak season.
Folks, I want you to think about that. Anthony just brought us some numbers right there. Peak season, $209 if you want one person to go during peak season to one park at Walt Disney World. Hey, Joe, here's how you want to solve your problem. Stop making this unaffordable for Americans to go to Walt Disney World. Can you imagine, Anthony, what Walt Disney would actually be saying right now about these prices? There is a stark difference between the way that Disney is running their parks and someone like Jesse, the yellow tuxedo guy with the Savannah Bananas. That guy right there is more after Walt Disney's heart than even Disney World is right now. That is what Walt Disney would have wanted. In fact, here's what needs to happen. All right. If you're Disney World, the park, and this guy has come on. I'm going to make sure I get it right here. Okay. Here's what you do. Joe, I'm your new advisor right now, Joe. You call up yellow tuxedo guy from Savannah Bananas and you go, hey, buddy, you know what? We're a little bit lost over here in our customer experience. I need you to come by and give me some advice. Basically make Walt Disney World into what you did for the Savannah Bananas. That's what you need to do. He's the phone call you need to make, Joe, because what that guy has done, he's not raised prices. He's gave a great customer experience. He's entertaining fans and selling out stadiums. What he is doing is what Walt Disney World used to do. It used to be an experience that kids wanted to go to have fun that was different than anywhere else you'd want to go. but now it's just another theme park. There's nothing special about it. It's lost what makes it great. And if you were, I'm telling you, if you make me right now, I'm the special advisor to Joe Schott. I'm selling, hey, you call up Jesse, yellow tuxedo guy from the Savannah Bananas, and you tell him, I want to implement what you've done and bring back the magic to these parks. That is what you do. And you stop raising the prices. You stop.
Yeah, I think two things that like I'm really hopeful now with Disney with this new CEO is that
no, he's the president of Walt Disney World. Okay.
Is that he started out from just an average person,
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise guy. He just
I love that.
He was just one of us, just a cast member, and he loved Disney. He worked there, so it's not like a person that's random that didn't work there. So it's someone that worked there. It's one of those things that like it's kind of cool because you see, like it's like, oh, they started out as just a regular employee and now they're just working up the ranks. And
I love that. It is a beautiful story. I love when somebody puts in the time, and I actually like the fact that they're promoting from within, right? And I've got to hope that this guy has a certain affinity, a certain I don't know how you put it, a loyalty, to the Disney brand that it once was. And I have to think that if this guy has half a brain on him, which everything that we could read says that he's a good person, people like him, he's well respected within the organization, that he understands that some of the magic has left the parks and that he has got to bring it back. And I'm telling you right now, it starts with the pricing. Americans can't afford to come there. And, we're going to talk about a K-shaped economy a little bit later, Anthony, but here's what everyone needs to understand is that for the people that are rich, Disney World has become a better experience. There are so many different programs right now. If you come to Disney, we're based in Orlando, for those of you who don't know. When you come to Orlando, you can hire concierge programs, private tours, all the things that an average person cannot afford, you can do to make your experience absolutely amazing here if you have money. And so, Joe, what I would tell you to do is say, hey, buddy, why don't you start looking out for the people who are making, middle class, upper middle class even. Somebody who's just trying to save so they can take their kids here and take a darn picture with Cinderella and have the moment that they can cherish forever. You've lost sight of that, Disney. And Disney, you need to bring it back. And so living here in Orlando, we all know it. No one wants to go to the parks because you know how expensive they are. And if I'm saying that and I live in Orlando, I can't imagine what a family of four in Cincinnati is thinking when they want to come here, for a weekend or a long weekend, and they're looking at something like park tickets that are going to cost them $1,600. They haven't even gotten into food. They haven't gotten into flights, hotel, merchandise, events while they're here. How can you afford it, Joe? And the answer is you can't. And so if you want Disney to come back, actually make it affordable for the people that make the parks special, that make Disney special. It's the kids that are living in middle class or lower middle class homes who got a dream one day that they want to be a princess or they want to be a superhero or Moana or whatever else it is. Those kids are the ones that make Disney great. And when you prevent them from going because their parents look at it and they shake their head and they go, I can't make it happen for my kid because it's just too darn expensive for me to take him there, Disney has lost what it was supposed to represent from day one. And Joe's got to bring that back.
Yeah. I definitely think he'll definitely change things up. And I think he sees it, and I think he's going to bring the prices down. One thing I was looking it up too, and it only just happened. I think it was like 2020 or 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets used to just be just a base price for Disney. It used to just be like, okay, $110 for Magic Kingdom, and then $100 for like the other parks. But now they just implemented the seasonal price, which at the time it was just like a $20 difference for like just a low peak to a high season rate. But now it's almost like $60, $70 for just a regular day, and then just
if you're not in peak season, you're paying $70. Let me tell you what, folks, it's not $70. It's actually like $82 because those are just the baseline prices, not counting taxes and fees and all that stuff they add on to it. Okay. $82, even if you went with a family of four. So let's just say that's $350 with all the stuff tacked on. And then you've got to buy stuff within the parks. Make this thing you got to make this thing affordable for people. You've got to bring the magic back that way.
And honestly, it's kind of annoying. I don't get why it's not flipped around. Like for the days that are going to be super packed, you're going to make a lot of money, Disney. So why not make those days like the cheaper days so people can afford it, or make it easier for them to come in?
So it'd be interesting to understand this, because I think what people need to understand is that Disney parks are making money.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But they're not making money on the right type of people. And unlike a lot of businesses, Disney, it matters what kind of people you make money on, because the kind of people that come to your parks who can barely afford it are also the people that take their kids to see your movies and buy your merchandise on Amazon. It's not just the people who can afford private tours and concierge service over at Yacht and Beach Club over at Disney. Those people are great for your parks, but you have to make sure that there's still a magical experience for individuals who make the Disney brand special. Because what happens is that right now, where Disney is losing is that the people who grew up on Disney, who should be your most loyal fans right now and turning their kids on to Disney, they're people like my age right now who are looking at this and they're saying, whoa, 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 no, I don't like this brand. It doesn't represent me as a parent. And they're leaving. And part of that is because they look at it and they go, no one's looking out for me right now. And I don't like that. Joe, this guy, he's got a big job ahead of him right now. And I think there's a lot of changes coming to Walt Disney World. Obviously, they're going to have to innovate. They're going to have to fix the rides, stuff that's broken all the time. They're going to have to make sure that people can get in there and have access. But I hope he makes a big change and that Disney can come back. We've talked about Disney a lot on the show, because not only we're local here, but I think that Disney plays a major role in culture. And so I want to see this guy succeed. And everything that I see says good things about him. So good luck to Joe and what he's going to be doing out there. Topic number 2, we want to talk about this. MrBeast, everybody. MrBeast has started his own ad tech company. Now, if you're not familiar with what an ad tech company is, let me explain what this guy's going to be doing. You see, MrBeast is smart, all right? He understands there's a need for short-form content out there and for businesses to generate short-form content. And much like ourselves, he knows that businesses don't want to generate anything, right? So what he's going to do is he's going to take thousands of the best content creators that there are, and he's going to use AI to match them with businesses, products, and services, and allow those people to make ads and content for those businesses at a fee. He'll take a percentage of that fee, and what do you know? MrBeast is making money on all the ads, all the creators out there that are going to be then creating for businesses. It's a very powerful system and a very smart one for MrBeast. Now, you and I, Anthony, were talking about this, and one of the things that we wanted to talk about here was how brilliant this is of him, because he's recognizing, in my opinion, his flaw as a creator and the change that we've seen within the algorithm on YouTube. Just 2 days ago, YouTube announced that it was going to be putting more of an emphasis on short form content. We've already seen the purge on Instagram of millions of bots that are gone over there. These platforms change how they would like to go ahead and target people. Here's the reason why they did it. What they understand is that someone like a MrBeast with a big channel, all right, or someone like PBD Podcast with a big channel where they have all these long form videos and people tune in, they understand that they're going to keep on creating content. They don't need to give incentive for those people right there to keep on creating content. But what they do need to do is get new people creating right now, because there's not a lot of people out there doing it. So they're giving a lot more emphasis to short form content that people can create and new channels across YouTube, which means that people like MrBeast are suffering, and I say suffering, 200 million views down to 60 million views or something, but that's a big difference. And so he's adjusting and saying, no problem, I won't look to make the money off the MrBeast brand, but rather I'll look to bring in creators who trust the MrBeast brand and connect them with businesses. It's a beautiful concept that they have to be able to make money on content creators that are out there that are good, but simply don't have an avenue to be connected with businesses who could use them. I love what he's doing right here. He knows he's not the greatest when it comes to short form content. I mean, I don't think anybody's out there going, MrBeast dominates at Reels. He's not the Alex Hermosi when it comes to Instagram Reels. He's great at the theatrics. He's great at building suspense. He's great at creating videos that draw you in. Not great at the 1 minute reel, in my opinion.
Yeah, personally, I think MrBeast has just kind of lost sight with his audience.
Really?
A little bit. For me.
Really?
Personally.
So tell me, why? You really think so?
I it sounds weird, but I've been subscribed to MrBeast since before he even hit 1 million subscribers.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I've seen his journey of going from like nothing to like where he is now. And so honestly, he just I feel like kind of how we've been talking about before, where like organic content where it seems more real, like you can see this person as like who they are. He used to be that type of person. He used to be in front of the camera, have like an emotion, all this stuff. And now I feel like his content's changed to more of he's just a host and he just like has more contestants and just trying to give out money. And he's kind of, I feel like, stepped away from a lot of him being in front of the camera to more of hosting a lot of who's there as like guests and coming in. I feel like I personally feel like I just feel like I'm just not relating to him as much as he used to.
It's interesting you say that. So I agree with you. And I would say this, I think that he's always been that way. I think he's just been able to hide it in the past. So when I think YouTube came around, I think he's always been a little bit socially awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I think that people kind of like that quirkiness in the beginning, right? Because it was authentic. And it was kind of like, okay, this guy's like quirky, but I relate to him. Now I think what's happened is that quirkiness doesn't come off the same way when you've got hundreds of millions of dollars behind you and people don't look at you the same way. Like you're one of them, right? They're looking at you like you're just a guy with a money with hundreds of millions of views and all these channels and all that. And I think it takes away whether he likes it or not, or whether it's fair or not, from like, this is just a guy that is just trying to make a few YouTube videos that are fun and cool. Right. And I think he's lost a lot of that, but I'll give him credit. I think he recognizes it. Mm-hmm. I think he sees the writing on the wall that, hey, you know what? I do have some deficiencies in the kind of content that I create. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to use my platform to bring in other creators and pair them with good companies who want to pay for that content creation. What this means for blue collar businesses, if you got one business who's going to go out there and is absolutely going to, with like a content creator that's like a top 50 creator, and they're going to run ads against you within a local service area, good luck with your AI, like your Canva picture, if you're running ads against that company that invests in good content creators who know what they're doing. And he knows it too. Because every time that a business comes out there and hires one of these content creators, he's taking his little percentage every single time. And I bet he's going to even take a percentage of the ad spend or something, or whatever the content creator makes. And that's beautiful. He's offering a great service, and he's one of the few people that has the respect in the platform to make it happen. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree. Next story is an interesting one. Did you ever think you would say this, that Mark Cuban and Donald Trump have teamed up, everyone? Now, if you remember, one of the biggest people that was against Donald Trump happened to be Mark Cuban. It was back in 2024. He supported Kamala Harris, and he called Trump unethical for years. He blasted him. And now he is standing on a stage with Donald Trump. And the reason, everybody, is Cuban says some things are just more important. And that thing that we're talking about here today is going to be the Trump RX system. Basically, what Trump is instituting is a way for generic drug prices to plummet. He's realizing that something that all of us have realized for a number of years, that the price of getting prescriptions in the United States is insane. The fact that we have people along the southern border that travel into Mexico to get their prescriptions, the exact same thing for pennies on the dollar, come back over, is absolutely crazy that we have here. The system is bloated. Mark Cuban figured this out. And in 2022, he launched Cost Plus Drugs with a partner who's a radiologist. And the idea was, let's just cut out the middleman, right? Let's go directly from the person who manufactures the pill, get that directly over to the pharmacy and right into the hands of somebody who needs it. As I did my research on this, man, I had to admit, I didn't understand how terrible our system is set up. There is something called pharmacy benefit managers. Had no idea these things were, all right? But man, these things are bad. Okay, they're called PBMs. There's 3 of them here in the United States: CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, and Optimum RX. They control 80% of prescriptions that run through this country right here. And what do? They just decide what's covered by your insurance is what they do. They're like this middleman that's completely unnecessary, that's dictating where prices go for people. It makes no sense why these companies need to be there at all, negotiating this way. Insurance company covered this. This is how much it costs. Rebates go over here. And yet they've just kind of quietly sat underneath the radar doing what they're going to do, jacking up rates for people while insurance companies pay those rates and people pay these big premiums right now. It's been terrible. And so I want to do a comparison right here. All right, folks, a real comparison of a drug as it would stand for, well, let me back up for 1 second. People are like, well, why is Mark Cuban getting involved? So they needed his distribution for Trump RX. He's got a great distribution to be able to move from the manufacturer directly into the pharmacy and into the person's hands. And Trump RX needed that distribution. So it's a great partnership. And what Mark Cuban is like, he's like, great, I get to charge a fee over to the government. I know I'm going to get paid. And he believes that there's a bigger cause that he's working towards right now, which is cheap prescription prices for people. That means more to him than the feud he has with Trump. Cool. This is a great partnership, and it's a great win for Americans right now. I want to do an example, though, here. This was staggering to me, Anthony, okay? Let's take a drug. This is a very common one. It's a cholesterol drug called Lipitor. Yeah, let's take that one. Let's take Lipitor. If you're over the age of 50, like guys, there's probably half males in the United States that have either taken this drug over 50 or are taking it currently right now. Get this. This drug costs less. Okay, so this drug costs about 7 cents a pill to make. Okay, so 30 pills, that'd be about $2.10 coming from the manufacturer. Here's what happens in our current system. Manufacturer goes to wholesaler. Wholesaler sells to the pharmacy at a markup. Then this PBM sits in the middle, starts negotiating there with the insurance companies. Pharmacy charges insurance plans an inflated rate. Finally, the retail price without insurance. And then we have some kind of other price that gets added in there with insurance. I'm not even sure. The whole thing gets convoluted, but in the end, what you get is, for just the generic version, $96.11 for those 30 pills that cost $2.10 to make. A 57% markup, everybody. What are we doing? Now, under this new plan, it's real simple what happens with Cost Plus and what we're hoping is going to happen here. Cost Plus, manufacturer, $2.10. They charge a flat flat fee of 15% markup. So $2.10 becomes 32 cents. That's the markup right there. $5 flat pharmacy fee, and then a shipping fee. Final price, $6.15. That's $6.15 versus $96.11. Do you realize what a difference that can make in somebody's life? We're talking right now about Americans being poorer all across the country, folks. We're talking about how MrBeast is adjusting what he does, how we've talked about how Disney needs to watch out for what they're doing in their parks. But this right here, this is how Americans can actually save money. You may not like Donald Trump. I don't think Mark Cuban does. But the fact is that this right here could actually save families, keep them in their homes, help them to pay rent, help people to live longer and a more fulfilling life because they can actually afford the prescription drugs that they need. It's terrible. You can't afford anything in this country. Meanwhile, everybody's pissed because we all know we're getting screwed over, but it doesn't seem like we can do anything.
Honestly, I really love this story.
I do too.
Because, I mean, for Mark Cuban, it sucks for him as personally, where it's like, oh, like if him going out there is gonna, Democrats are gonna get pissed that he's going for Trump. Republicans are gonna be pissed at Mark Cuban and be like, oh, now he's going.
Yep.
But honestly, Mark Cuban, all he wants to do is just do the right thing. He's putting his ego aside and just saying, like, look, I might not agree with a lot of things that he's doing, that Trump's doing, but you know what? I agree with this, and I don't care what side he's on. I want to see this thing come into action. And so, you know what? I love this. And
me too.
This is what all Americans should be. They shouldn't be one side. They should just do what's right for the country. And you know what? Mark Cuban's just doing what's right.
I agree. I think you're right. And, this plan right here with Trump RX could deliver 600 generic drugs at cheaper rates than we're currently getting them right now. You don't have to like Donald Trump. You don't have to like Mark Cuban. How about we all just celebrate the fact that, you know what? If some guy's got some high blood pressure, he can actually afford to get medication instead of living with a ticking time bomb, all right? Because he can't afford $96 when he wants to go. And that's kind of on the low end, folks. Here in Florida, go to the Publix pharmacy. You ain't paying $96. All right. You're probably paying like $116. And for 30 pills that cost $2 to make.
Come on,
man.
I think that the thing that sucks, especially just medicine in general, whatever the price is, we just say, yes, we'll do it. We'll pay this price. We don't even think about it. Like if you go to like Walmart or Publix, whatever, we see water, we see like a $30 case for this water, but then a $10 case for this one. I'm going to go for the $10 one.
Yeah.
But then with medicine, it's just, oh, you need this medicine and it's going to cost this amount. You don't question how much it's actually going to be or how much they actually made it for.
You don't. But we should.
We should.
And, if we saw like, a gallon of water out there and it was like $10, what the heck is in this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know what it cost. The problem is there's no transparency. Americans don't know that the generic form of Lipitor, that it's $2 for them to make it. And so when you sit there at a pharmacy, you need the medication and they turn the screen, they're like, oh, it'd be $96. How pissed are you knowing that it's $2 for somebody to make that? Who's making that money?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this to me is where there's just such an immense amount of selfishness and greed that we have right here. And I'm happy that somebody is teaming up to actually do something about it. And it's sad that we have to get to this point because there's so much damn greed at every level. Every pill that gets sold out there, somebody is making a killing while another person can barely afford to pay their bills.
Yep.
I hate it. But good stuff right here. I love that they're teaming up. Seems like a good partnership. Both want to do right by Americans, in my opinion. I think both have something to win right here when it comes to I like it when both people come together and they both have something to win and they both have something to lose. Mm-hmm. That's a good partnership. Let's turn to topic number 4 right now. And this one is right in line with what we're thinking because half of business owners, that's right, folks, half of business owners in the United States are asking, is this even worth it anymore? In a 2026 survey of 1,000 small business owners, 49% are questioning whether running their business is worth it for another month. And more than 3 out of 4 have sacrificed something meaningful in their life within the last year. Health, time, family, financial stability. Well, they've sacrificed it. Profitability has dropped 50% for small businesses since 2024. And this means that you have small business owners that are looking at the world and going, is this actually something I want to continue to do? And so this is not a surprising thing to me. Being a small business owner, I know how difficult it is. I know how tough it is out there for people. Even if you just run a department, every day you're questioning, man, is this thing worth it? And you keep on getting up and you keep on taking your hits and you get back up one day after the other and you hope that you're better at it today than you were yesterday. And that's about all you can do, Anthony. But what I will say is that part of the problem that we have right now is that the injection of private equity into the market is what is exacerbating this problem for small business owners. It is one thing when you're a small business owner that is competing against other small business owners, but now sometimes it can truly feel like a David versus Goliath situation. We work with so many of these small businesses in the blue collar space that feel like they're being pushed out of the market because they can't compete with what a private equity firm is willing to pay for a lead. And therefore, they can't compete in the Google or they can't compete in ad spend. And they're losing market share in an area where maybe they dominated at one time because they're being pushed out by the capital that private equity is able to raise. People who are small business owners are saying, you know what? I don't have the margins I used to have. It's harder for me to compete right now, and people are not appreciating the work that I'm putting in. Fair. That's where that's what they feel like right now. I'm not saying that they should feel that way or it's bad or it's good, but that's how they're feeling. They feel hopeless right now as they fight against these big conglomerates that are out there. And that's not a good feeling. And so here's my advice that I would say to, if you had, well, Patrick, okay, great. Doom and gloom. No. There are advantages and disadvantages to both sides. And Anthony, we work with private equity firms. We work with small businesses doing, 1 to 3 million, 3 to 5, 50 million plus, 100 million plus, you name it. Okay. We work with Inc. 5,000 people. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a small business owner, how you need to approach the next 12 months. Stop falling for every AI, everything you need to do, and just get back down to the basics. Okay. You can go one of two ways. Either you need, as a business owner, to go full in to tech. You need to go full into automations, full into cost cutting, and go all in that way. Or go back to the 1940s. Okay? Start knocking on doors again. Start shaking hands. Start going to events where people and your customers are at. Start sending out things like letters and putting out signs and billboards and things like that that are in letter, put out magazines and stuff and start taking out where people are spending their time. Go back to there. If that's where you want to go, cool. Because people appreciate that right now. How many people out there are just sick and tired of so much AI? You call a company, you can't reach anybody because they want to be more efficient. You're trying to get something fixed and you can never talk to anybody. Just give them an explanation of what's going on. How good did it used to feel that you could actually vent to a company if something did happen? Or at least you felt like you had somewhere you could go. And so for those companies who're like, hey man, maybe AI isn't for you, then you know what? Get really good at going back to the 50s, 60s, all right? Get really good at customer service again. Show people that you are different. Don't just tell them. And so I think there's one of two ways that companies can go here. You go all in, full cost cutting automations and all in on AI, or hey, maybe that's not you. Go back to the 60s, okay? And do everything you would have done back in the 60s and do it right now and stand out that way. Because right now, the opportunity for you to stand out doing the small things right is immense. How about you just have a real person answer your phones? You know how many times people have called me, Anthony, and they're like, hey, you're the guy in the ads. Are you like the guy that I see like on the Instagram ads? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Well, don't you own the business? Yeah, I do. And they go, oh, shoot, man, that's kind of cool. It's Saturday. I'm like, yeah, I know, because I care. And you know what? People are just surprised to get a human voice on the other line because they just desperately want a company that will take care of them. And they can't get it anywhere because everybody wants to cut cost everywhere. You can't get great customer service when everything is outsourced to AI in the Philippines right now. And even if you could, folks, how many customers out there can agree with me? I'm sick of talking to AI bots. I don't want to click on your little thing in the corner of your website and tap right there and talk to another bot. I don't want to go through your voicemail with an AI bot. I don't want to sit there and act like an AI bot is typing on a typewriter when I talk to them like it's some kind of real person. I want to talk to someone who cares about what's going on with me and my family and come out here and fix my problem or sell me a product or give me a refund or whatever you want to talk to somebody for. Yeah. This makes sense. Go all in or go back to the 1970s, Anthony. That's the way that businesses can go right now. Pick your poison. Which way do you want to go? Because I got a feeling that both are going to be successful in the year to come. Yep. What do you think about that one?
I definitely
got it worked up because I think about this stuff all the time.
I definitely agree. I think in a weird way, I feel like it's almost I almost feel like it's both to become a strong company.
Bring in the heat. Tell me what do you think about that?
I feel like you gotta have a little bit of AI, okay, but not too much. Where you have to freaking answer a phone call and have an AI bot. The customer service has to be talking to a real person.
Yep.
I still think you can't AI that at the moment, yes, especially for a small business. You have to have a real person talking to them, but maybe you can automate some things with AI and do both. Or I think there's a combination of both. They can do.
I think right now, one of the biggest mistakes that small businesses are making is they're trying to automate the initial touch point with AI.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a small business, you can pay somebody a decent salary and they can answer the phone and you go, oh, I can AI that. Yeah. You're not understanding the importance of that first touch point, because I'm telling you, there's a business, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a garage door company. It was some kind of Sunny thing. Okay. And I called. This is probably last week, and they said something along the lines of, it's a bright and sunny day here at such and such. How can we make your day better today? And it was a real person.
Oh, that was a real person.
A real person. I wish I could name this company because I would give them a shout out right now. I put it in a short and push the money behind it because they were great. Okay. And I was like, hi, hi, like, is this a AI? She goes, no, this is saying that I'm here at the office. It's just the way we answer their phones here. I'm like, I feel better. Like, I'm going to work with you because of this. Right. And she's like, yeah, we get that a lot. I'm like, you're wonderful at this job. But what happens is people don't appreciate it. They don't understand how important that first touch point is for your small business. And so, well, we can automate that. We won't lose anybody. Bull, you're not losing anybody.
I feel like if that same
Yeah.
quote that you said was AI, that would just be so annoying.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, whatever. But the fact that that quote was just from a real person makes it even just more wholesome. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
It was like, it's a sunny day here. And I'm like, cool. That's what I'm like, it's a sunny day here. I feel better. Yeah. Like, I felt better from having had this initial conversation. And God, I remember the name of the company. We did have them come out here and they gave a quote. God, I'm so sorry. I can't remember them, but they did give us a quote, and I will work with them because of that exact experience. And I would have, for me, I would have expected them to be, after that experience, a little bit higher of a quote than the competitors, but I was okay with that. Small businesses are vastly undervaluing the first touch point and underestimating just how important it is. On Saturday, I gave somebody a call, Anthony, Sunday. Mm-hmm. I sent somebody a text yesterday, and this guy he's the newest client, signed up yesterday, out of the Northeast. And I sent him a text. I sent him a text because it was Sunday. It's like, hey man, this is Patrick, not a bot. I'm working here on Sunday. I just want to see if there was any initial questions before our meeting tomorrow. And he writes back accurately, and he said, that's what a bot would say. I was like, touche, you're right. I'm in the gym right now in Crunch Fitness. I'm telling you right now, I'm not a bot, but I'm working right now and just want to see if there's any questions. And he was nice enough, gave me a couple things, and we were able to meet. And like I said, he's a new client of ours. But people are so used to that AI that they don't even believe it's a real person anymore. And so when I look at this right now in this story, I'm not surprised that business owners are contemplating quitting all the time, because it just seems like there's so much that is stacked against you outside of your control that you just sit there and you go, help with it. Yeah. And so, as I said, go one way, go the other. Don't sit on the fence if you are a small business owner. We have 2 more stories to get to here today, everybody. I'm going to tell you what. Ever flown on Emirates, everybody? Well, if you've gone overseas, you may have flown on Emirates. Probably not here in the United States, of course, but maybe you've gone over to Dubai. Maybe you've gone over to Turkey, got one of those cool hair transplants that I need so much. Then you've flown on Emirates. It is known as being a luxury liner, but it is actually catching the wave of the airline industry. It has ripped out 46 seats out of its A380 or A380, 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 whatever it is. It's ripped out 46 seats out of its most packed jet because it realizes one thing, that the Spirit airline model doesn't work, everyone. It is dead. They are realizing on the Emirates level for international flights, American and all these are going to follow, all right? People are sick of the experience that they are getting on airlines. This is showing that it's not just an American thing. It's an international thing. Now, if you're not sure, this particular liner was the most packed jet that they actually flew for Emirates, all right? And what they did is they took out these 46 seats out of the premium economy to give people more space, more legroom internationally for travel. Meaning, on a surface, this doesn't look like a good decision because, man, you're missing out on opportunities to make money. They're realizing now that the experience is losing them passengers, and they're saying, no, we're not going to go the lowest cost anymore. We're going to actually give an experience that might be worth a darn, and we're going to charge $30 extra per seat in order for people not to have an absolutely miserable experience on our flights. Wow. Is that such a tough thing for people to understand? Everyone is so busy about cutting costs. The smart companies are realizing, like Emirates, nope. Actually might be something a little bit more than just cutting costs for people. People might actually want to feel like, you know what, I'm not miserable for 16 hours on a flight. So, why don't we offer a better experience and charge a little bit more for it? Crazy concept. That's what they're doing here. And I like the fact that this is happening, because what it's doing is it's showing a reversion in the market. We had a time where air travel used to be something that was actually pleasant. And then what happened? Airport lines got bigger. TSA got in the way. All the bureaucracy got in the way. Lines got longer, delays, outdated systems for actually getting flights into the air, everything, right? And then what you saw is the economy airliners like your Spirits, your Frontiers, your JetBlues that came in and they dropped down prices. And then to compete, more seats went into American Airlines, Delta, and all the rest. And meanwhile, the person who suffers the most is going to be us, the people who have to fly on these things, which you're like this right here. Me and you are next to each other on a flight last week. We're like this, barely getting in there. If you're someone like me, I mean, we're touching knees next to each other and all this crap on a flight back from Vegas. It's awful. So shout out to Emirates for actually realizing that the experience still does matter to passengers.
Yeah, and I think too, honestly, one thing that I wish people, when they go to the airport, I wish they go back to like the 60s when like people dressed up nice to go on a plane or suits and like were classy. And now I just see people in pajamas going in, just like, oh, whatever. I can kind of understand on that red eye, okay?
Yeah, that was a brutal flight.
Okay, I can see it. But if it's like the middle of the day, being dressed nice, go to a plane, just look presentable. Don't wear pajamas.
Here's my problem when I fly on airlines today. Flight attendant goes down the aisle, right? Telling you, put up your tray, all this stuff, right? How about put on your shoes, okay? Like, I've got a guy next to me who's got his shoes. He just takes off. Like, people do this on flights. They're like taking off their shoes, feet, socks, just sitting there. Okay, if you're going to tell me that my tray being down is some kind of hazard for this flight, how about the guy with his shoes off right there that I could trip over? Have that guy put his shoes back on, because one, I don't want to look at his feet, okay? And two, he smells, okay? Because everyone smells, all right, whatever. And then, like, how is that even acceptable? Who goes like, ugh, just gonna put my feet up here and do what I got to do? Like, what is this, your house? You're in a public air, you're in a tin tube, and you're just gonna kick off your shoes and have your feet out and just stuff like that, which are that far away from another passenger right there. Put your shoes on like an adult. I don't understand this one. If we can enforce, lift your tray up, put your seat up, all of that stuff, put your bags underneath the seat in front of you, then the next thing we need to do that would actually make a difference is put your darn shoes on so I don't have to look or smell your feet.
Yeah.
This is not a tough one.
Yeah, honestly, that's something I can never do on a plane, because I'll be honest with you, I have like the smelliest freaking shoes and feet, man. The second I take it off, everyone on that plane is going to be like, what the hell? I'm like biohazard on this plane.
Okay, like, you realize that, right? How many people, okay, do we really believe that the people who are taking off their shoes on a flight realize just how terrible their feet smell? Or you got some old crusty socks on that obviously look like they haven't been cleaned. Yeah. The bottom of your foot looks like it's been dragged across the garbage can because it's got like stuff on it from your house or your dog's hair and stuff. And you're just putting it up there, crossing your legs like, hey, here we go. Here's my feet out here.
Letting them dogs out.
Yeah, letting them dogs out. Rough. But you know, it's absolutely, like, that's, to me, is what bothers me. Thank you, Emirates, for removing some of these these seats. I don't fly internationally. I hope that one day I can. I'm too busy stuck right here making this work happen. But at least I know if I did fly Emirates, I'll have a little bit more room thanks to their new policy, at least on this airliner. Folks, our last topic of the day, it just speaks again to how Americans have less money. Now, if you didn't understand, get ready for this statistic. The average date night in America, folks, it is over $200 now. And 86% of singles say, well, you know what? I ain't doing it. They are not going on dates because they don't want to spend $200 to $300 on the average date in America. That is right. The average cost, $200 to go on a date in America. And 86% of singles say money has been, in part, forcing them to delay going on a date. Unbelievable right here. All right. And I believe this. Singles are, you know, what we have. I want to explain this to everyone, because I think it's very important to understand what this article is actually saying. We have what's called a K-shaped economy, okay? And so for men who are thinking about going on a date with a woman, what's going to happen is they have to weigh how much money do they have, and then how much is going to cost, you know, whatever. They have to weigh that. And if you're looking at it and you're going to go out to a nice restaurant, you're going to get a nice, couple of glasses of wine, some drinks. Maybe you're going to go to a show or you're going to do something, some kind of activity. You're going to spend $250 easy. And so for somebody who's making a good, middle-class wage right now, is it worth it to go on that date with a girl and spend $250? Now, some people say, well, Pat, if you like her, then it's worth it. Okay. I'm talking about a first date, everybody. All right. And, a lot of guys are looking at this going, man, I ain't going out and spending no $250 on this crap. I don't even know this thing's going to work out. But yet somehow we've got this society right now that is going to judge a man based on the fact of what kind of first date he wants to go on. Okay. And if he's not willing to spend $300 on you, all of a sudden he's some kind of cheap, like, come on. I'm looking at this right here. I'm going to go right there. The K-shaped economy. That's what we're looking at, which basically means this. If you look at like a K, meaning that the rich who are going up like this, they're the ones who are continuing to go on the lavish trips, go on the big dates, $500, $1,000 nights, while people who are going down on the K side right there, these are people that are like, hey, I can't afford it anymore. And so they're not going on dates. They're not going out on a Friday night for drinks and dinner and maybe do something, like some kind of activity. And that is showing up everywhere. It's showing up in our economy right now with housing. It's showing up with gym prices right now. We have lifetime. What is it? Lifetime Fitness here? Is it the one that's $350 a month?
Oh yeah, that one is.
We have a gym here in Orlando. I think it's like Lifetime or Lifestyle. I can't remember what it's called. $350 a month, and it's packed. These same gyms are other places across the country, and there are waiting lists to actually be into this gym. This is a great example again of the K-shaped economy. The rich, they have the ability, and they continue to buy. While those who don't, they go down in the K. Now, what happens between that distance between the rich and the poor? If you look at an economy, it becomes greater, right? And so you have goods and services that are still being purchased, but they're not being purchased by the majority of people on the K chart. And so therefore, prices continue to go up. Some people continue to win. Most people continue to lose and can't afford anything. And we're in the middle of a K-shaped economy, which is very evident by the fact that single people out there can't afford to even go on a date because it costs over $200 in order to make it happen. The other statistics are absolutely crazy as well, okay? Here's the thing, all right? Either you spend $300 a night or you don't go on a date at all. The percentage of single men in this country between 18 and 29 that are not in relationships, it's 63%. For women, 34%. Get this, everybody. That's the largest gap in history. And the reason is because guys are looking at this thing and saying, nah, not worth it to go out there and continue doing it. Dating apps are making it very easy for people to find alternatives that are out there. And women have become so jaded by the options that are out there, they don't even want to be a part of it anymore. So it's like the job market. They're saying, I'm not even looking for a job at this point right now. And so we've got this perfect storm that is coming together, Anthony, between prices going high for the average person, a K-shaped economy, and a market right now where you've got so many people that are single and they're not even saying, I want to look for anything because it's not worth it to them to be in that market anymore.
Yeah. And honestly, it's just crazy right now. It's just pricing just with everything going up. Like we were talking about it just a couple weeks ago, just even going to McDonald's is just expensive, which just crazy.
I did my Sunday night McDonald's 2 nights ago? My Sunday night McDonald's. I love it. Mm-hmm. I go to the one up here. I go through the drive-through, and then I pull over into the parking lot because I don't want to wait till I get home because the fries are the best when they're fresh. Okay. I don't care that like 15-minute drive back. It's something about it. Okay. I need them fresh. So I pull over, had Griffin in the car with me. He's got a little seat. He got a few fries. Okay. And I just enjoyed, I put my phone up there. I just parked, put my phone up there. I was watching one of my police shows, where they do the police chases and stuff. I was watching that, having some fries, cheeseburger, chicken sandwich. And I think it was $19 for a number 9, which was a 2 cheeseburger meal large. And I think a McChicken that I had on the side, and a large McFlurry. Okay. It was almost $20. It was like $19.86. All I got was like a couple sandwiches and a McFlurry, a meal and a McFlurry with like a McChicken, which is $1. I don't think that was that much for $19 or $20.
Insane.
I was like, shoot, man, I'm gonna enjoy every bit of these cheeseburgers and McChicken. And boy, is it good. I don't care what anyone says. McDonald's is freaking good. All right. It tastes good. it's like, it's addicting.
Mhm.
I limit it to one time a week, and I freaking love every time I get my McDonald's. Like, I open it up. I always forget to tell them no pickle, but I get that chance, and you get that soft, buttery bun, and then you eat. Oh, it's so good, man.
And the Coke from McDonald's
It's
hits.
better. It's better.
Pretty good.
It's better. It hits. Every time it's better.
Mhm.
Like McDonald's, talk about just getting it right and just not changing a thing. McDonald's. All right.
Only thing they changed is that price.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a good point there. You're right. They changed the price. But as far as their product
Oh, yeah.
goes, I mean, I could take a cheeseburger from 2000 and 2026. Cheeseburger's exactly the same. Talk about just doing a great job of keeping your product great. Just keep selling great product. I love it. Like I said, I limit my McDonald's to once a week, and I love every time I get to go. I have to admit, I would have paid $20. Probably would have paid 21, but I only go once a week. It's not like I use it like 3 times a week. I'm going to McDonald's. That would stop me, I think.
Mhm.
But it's like my one treat that I get, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to go do it. So anybody else has got a problem with health, like screw off. All right. Because I like McDonald's and it's great. I think overall, it's the best fast food chain. Overall, if you had to go overall, the best fast food chain is McDonald's.
Yeah, I'll say it's like always consistent.
Yeah.
It's
Readily available.
Yeah.
So it's readily available. It's cost effective compared to other fast food chains.
Mhm.
Menu variety. Like take Chick-fil-A, you're only getting chicken. You can get a chicken sandwich, fish fillet. You can get the McRib. You can get burgers. So you have a good variety on the menu.
And most of the time it's open 24 hours.
There we go. Service is normally predictably decent.
Yeah.
I would say decent. Like, it's never terrible. Now, it's never going to blow you away like Chick-fil-A, but it is very consistently average service.
I went to Popeyes. I want to say it was yesterday, actually.
Ooh, Popeyes.
Popeyes has really good food.
Yeah.
But man, the service is
bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about Popeyes, you got to get the biscuits and you got to get the honey. Honey in the biscuits. They got it's that soft kind of flaky biscuit.
Yeah.
It's salty. And then you put that honey with it with that nice sweet taste.
And the French fries are
good. Good. The one we should do a story on it, and we're end here, folks, is Burger King. You see where they're trying to change, like their new president is making like this big push to change Burger King. Like their new ads are fire.
Oh, I haven't seen them.
Yeah. Like I have to admit, like as a marketing company, we should do like a little study on this one. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow. Take a look at Burger King. They hired this new guy to come in, and he's basically come in there and he's like, we failed. He's like this like king guy who looks like a creeper and like all the like horns, big.
Yeah.
It's like, what were they doing? Their commercials, he talks about it and talks about like getting back into small towns and trying to become like the small town company that they once were, like where people would meet for coffee and they would have like, biscuits or they'd have their breakfast. And like he seems like he's a guy who's very much in touch with Americans right now.
Cool.
So it'd be very interesting to see what Burger King does over the next year, because I really don't like their product, but supposedly the Whopper is different now. I don't know if that's true, but I think they may have changed something about the Whopper that maybe it's better. But I like the fact that president over there is like taking accountability for, hey, we don't know what we were doing, and that's not me, so give us another chance.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all right, you're going to take a lot to turn me away from McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, but if it's Sunday and I'm passing by, I might go to a Burger King.
I used to love Burger King.
Really?
That was my favorite.
Okay.
But then I think just over the years, just something happened, which I'm happy that they're changing it up, because they definitely needed some change for at least the past, I'd say 10 years. It hasn't been the same when I was a kid.
No, the one thing I used to like at Burger King was the French toast sticks.
Oh, I still love those.
Bro, fire.
Yeah.
All right. They need to go more all in on French toast sticks. If you're a Burger King guy, like whoever you are, all in on French toast sticks. If they're done and they're cooked right, and they're soft all the way through, not like where you have like where it gets hard on one end, like you can tell they didn't like microwave or whatever correctly, but you get like good French toast sticks, and then they'd have like the hot syrup there with it, and you dip it in there. Whoo, underrated. I'm buying that all day long. We're running short on time, though. We've got great topics. Appreciate this one. Had a lot of fun with the show here today. Listen, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, follow us over on Instagram or wherever it is, TikTok, YouTube. We try to post this stuff everywhere. We do. Anthony does all the hard work. But we'd love to see you, and we will see you tomorrow here on the Patrick Carr Show. Later, everybody. Got to get those French toast sticks. Money.